So I'm sure a lot of young guys know this, but a lot of young guys don't know because a lot of you guys are on the no-fap wave. If you guys have been on YouTube long enough, right? You've been on the no-fap wave. But for the guys who don't know this, the young guys growing up, maybe you're a teenager, maybe you're in your 20s, whatever the case may be. Understand that it is so normalized nowadays for us to be seeing asses on the internet all over Instagram. Everything is sexualized. Like the porn industry is made to fry your brain because what you're doing is you're choosing quick dopamine every single day in order for you to feel good in the moment. But what you don't understand is that is an addiction. And it happens because you start off from an early age. I remember at an early age in middle school, the little boys used to huddle up in, what is this, seventh grade? They used to huddle up and watch porn in the back of the school. So this is something that now it's going to get worse. If back in the day it was bad, imagine later on in the future with VR and everything. Everything is going to get VR and you're going to be able to watch and do whatever it is you want to do. But understand that this affects you mentally. Not only does it affect you because it's a bad habit and it could also be an addiction if you're doing it every single day, but it's also something that is not really preparing you for the real world because if you're constantly searching, understand that you're not going to be fully satisfied with whatever it is that you see in real life because you have all these things on the internet that most of them aren't even real. A lot of it is acting, and you have gotten yourself addicted to these websites, to these channels. And I get it, man. Growing up, your hormones are going crazy. All you want to do is, you know, go on these websites before you go to sleep, pull out your sock, have yourself a good time with the good old hand, the righty or lefty, whatever it is. But understand that you're frying your brain. You're frying your brain. At least what you should definitely start with is quitting porn. Quit porn. Stop watching it. If you have to start, this is with any addiction, right? Because I've been addicted to many things. I used to watch that. I used to be on pills. I've had many bad habits and many addictions that I've overcame. And let me tell you this, all of these habits and addictions that I had to break never happened in one go. It always starts with you wanting to stop doing something. First, you have to start and have the desire to want to start something. And it might take you a few attempts. That's with anything in life. It might take you a few attempts. You might start something, fail, try again, start something, fail, try again. And then eventually, after all these starts and failed attempts, each times you've learned something new. And then probably the fifth, sixth, maybe even the seventh time, you are going to fully quit. It all depends on how bad you want it. But let me tell you this, if you think that it's impossible for you to go however long it is without watching it, understand you can. But the only reason why you're so attached to it is because you've been doing it for who knows how long, right? Maybe 2 years. So if you've been doing something for 2 years, whether it's watching those websites, whether it's playing with yourself, whether it's having a girlfriend and you go through a breakup, you get rid of this addiction, you stop playing with yourself, whatever the case may be, if you've done it for 3 years and you just started in one day, yeah, you're going to feel attached to it. You're going to feel like it's something that you can't live without. But that's because you've been doing it for 2 years and now you just started with one day, right? But let yourself get to 2 years, maybe even halfway. You're going to completely forget that thing even existed. I promise you, the further you get away, time is the best healer. The further away you get from that initial habit that you had in your life every single day, the further you get from it, the more you will start to distance yourself because we as humans adapt to whatever it is we are in the current moment. I assure you, if you go to prison for 5 years, that's going to become your normal now. That's going to become your normal, and that's going to feel like this is your environment, right? So, whatever it is you go through, if you stick through it long enough and you let time go by, you will begin to get used to your new life. When I quit the pills, there was a long time where I wanted to take pills again, but the longer I went without it, the more I just got used to my new life. And now thinking about living a life like I used to before just doesn't seem normal. So if you're frying your brain on the websites, you're addicted, start going days without it. Start going 7 days without it, 8 days without it, 10 days. Reward yourself. When you hit these milestones, reward yourself in some way so that your brain can see it as an activity that you want to do, something that is enjoyable. When you hit the 10-day mark, you reward yourself with something. And that is teaching you delayed gratification because you have to wait for 10 days in order for yourself to reward yourself instead of you laying down in your bed, doing what you got to do, doing the deed, right? Getting on the website, satisfying yourself, and boom, all of a sudden now you've been rewarded. Short term gratification versus delayed gratification. The delayed gratification always is going to have a bigger return, a bigger benefit. The short term one, like I said, it's short term. It's going to make you feel good in the moment, but long term, it's frying your attention span, it's frying your brain. When you try to get it in with a chick, it's going to be gummy worm. All these things because you're frying your brain, all right? So like I said, start by stopping that, stop, and then eventually start trying to do some semen retention to where you retain your seed. And like I said, the same thing, try to see how long you can go. If you go 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, and you will start to feel better and better, more confident about yourself, all right? Like the video, comment down below and subscribe. Let's go.